Hello, Dr. Lewis here with the 4 Dimensions of Health program at Health Revival Partners. And today we're going to talk about Dimension 1, which is really a risk assessment. And really almost every chronic condition stems at some point in the future from risks you've had in the past or you have today. So let's look at how we do it. So we all lie on 4 continuums of health and disease. And the primary one is really risks. It's environmental factors, it's lifestyle, it's family history, it's all those different things. And then we have biomarkers, so physiological changes. Risk beget physiological changes reflected in biomarkers. And then we have tissue changes. We measure that in the eye. When you have sustained biomarker changes, guess what? Tissue starts deteriorating. Tissue starts changing in an adverse way. And when tissue changes are manifest long enough, we call that disease. So what we want to focus on is the fact that these all overlap. So if we spend a lot of time working on our risks, we can actually reverse disease. That's the whole idea. So, and working on our risks is really proactive, whereas waiting for disease to strike, that's a very reactive state. We hope you will work on your risks and be very proactive. So, and when you do that, boom, your biomarkers are going to improve. Tissue changes may even reverse. We can see diabetes in the back of the eye, for example, and see that go away over time, microaneurysms. And of course, we're going to take you out of your diabetic or autoimmune or cardiovascular poor health condition. So it's very simple. On our website, and here is a picture of our main page or our menu for our website. And this is our chronic disease assessment. So it's a private link. You have to pay for it. And when you do, you get the link to get here. And you just simply start the assessment. And it's 125 questions. But the key thing is it's based on functional medicine, root cause medicine, what a functional doctor would do for an intake. But we've institutionalized this in terms of making it available online. And we look at each question and answer and risk rate those. We can give you a very robust risk stratification, and I'll get into that in a moment. So here's an example. Here's someone who took our chronic disease assessment, and we give you a CDA or chronic disease assessment grade, and this person got a D. But they indicated, rate your overall health status as poor. They're motivated, they have strong support. And now we're just looking at some of the questions we ask in the chronic disease assessment, which may be different than in other so-called HRAs that you've used before. How often do you floss your teeth? Never. Do your gums bleed? Yes, gums are bleeding. So this person has chronic infection in their oral cavity and maybe beyond. Do you get night sweats? Severe night sweats, we're really getting, soaking the sheets. What is a night sweat? Well, at nighttime, when your body's trying to do extra repair and recovery, say, for example, from a chronic infection, your temperature is going to go up. So you're going to be hotter at night. You're more likely to sweat. Some other questions, we're looking at lifestyle from dietary aspects. And you can see we give a grade for the overall food and beverage score. So we get to see where you are on the food health continuum, if you will. We're looking at vectors, have you bitten by ticks, fleas, mosquitoes, bed bugs? These things carry disease with them, which in healthy people may not make a difference, but in people with a compromised immune system, it may manifest into disease. You can see here in terms of current problems, the person has brain fog, fatty liver, blood clots, clotting issues, pain in legs and extremities. We're looking at the frequency of what's going on with the bowel movements. Yes, we want you to describe your bowel movements because what's going on with your bowel movements tell us a lot about what's going on with your gut, which tell us a lot about what's going on with your absorption, which tell us a lot about what's going on in your body in terms of repair and recovery with good nutrients. So Dimension 1 is proactive. Take our assessment, work on lowering your risks. You'll probably eliminate diseases or conditions that you currently have, or if you feel great, prevent them from matriculating in the future. So, and we're always looking at, in this risk scale, the question why. Why is disease happening? For example, the night sweats, the bed bugs, the poor oral hygiene, the bad food. All these things are small risk factors that are easily reversed and ultimately will reverse disease. So from the assessment, we'll create a detailed care plan. And the whole idea behind the care plan is very simple. It's not about calories, for example, when it comes to nutrition. It's about repair, recovery, and reviving. You need nutrients to rebuild your infrastructure of your body day in and day out. So here's a case study. Here's a gentleman in our program, pretty obese, rheumatoid arthritis, A1C of 8.8, so type 2 diabetic. And on our risk scale, he scored a D. And these are our blood labs, chronic disease temperature of 101.5. That's subject of another video. Now, 6 to 9 months later, look, we reversed essentially 100%, or at least 90% of his rheumatoid arthritis. He went from not being able to make a fist to be able to make a full fist, and his pain went from an 8 to 10 down to a 1 to 2. He didn't do heroic things to change his lifestyle. He went from a D to a C+, and we can see that his blood labs improved in that process. But more importantly, his cancer risk went down, his metabolic risk, like diabetes, went way down, and we can see that manifest in some really good labs, and he's no longer diabetic or even pre-diabetic. And his cardiovascular risk went down. So this is what can happen just by working on what we call Dimension 1. Looking at, evaluating properly your risks, what I call your risk portfolio, everything taken together. It's all connected, so we don't work on just one big thing. It's a myriad of little things that come together and make a much more robust and healthy you. So how do you get involved in this simple risk assessment and care plan program? Well, on our website under services, you'll see this page right here, and we have a little video that explains our overarching diagnostic program, but in particular, I recommend everybody start with a chronic disease assessment, survey, and consultation. And it brings a lot of value. This is what you get. You get a functional health assessment with artificial intelligence baked into it because we're risk scoring everything you answer. You get a personal health record that's HIPAA compliant where we communicate your results and message and communicate with you going forward as we move to eliminate your risks. We'll do a past records review. So once you set up this personal health record, dump your other health data into that, and we'll include that in our review. You get a professional 1-hour consult with myself or one of my senior staff members to really understand root cause of risks and how they manifest in disease. And you get a detailed action plan. Really fantastic starting point to kick you off on a new health journey. And how do you get there is just go to our website, healthrevivalpartners.com/shop, and you'll see this page where you can place an order for the chronic disease assessment, survey, and consultation. So our 4 dimensions of health program: risks, physiology, pathology, and disease. But the most important of all is Dimension 1, the risks in your life. And our program is all about measuring your risks very accurately, very broadly, very deeply, and helping you one by one pick off and mitigate those risks to improve your overall health and your likelihood of an extended healthy longevity. Dr. Tom Lewis here with Health Revival Partners. Thank you very much for your time.